Hello and welcome to Kislev's campaign mechanics. I get with the second episode, I guess, of Carrot and Stick. So Kislev again has interesting mechanics, which sound a good amount of carrots and not many sticks. Okay. So let's start off with our main mechanic, devotion. So devotion is in-game. Devotion is representation of how well your faction is upholding the ideals of Kislev and how easily it kept the passion of the common people focused on destroying chaos. Meaning, fighting and being chaos, armies of chaos. Or, as they say here, defeating Chaos Aligned armies provides some while sacrificing captives post-battle gives another chunk of devotion. Various buildings and decisions can also generate devotion. Gods of Kislev respond to the intentions of their people. Meaning, we go jump over to Korn's thing, it means Chaos Aligned means Skaven, Kurska, Beastmen, Warriors of Chaos, and all the Chaos Gods. Meaning, we are sitting on a race, or not a race, a devotion where you shouldn't have a problem. You shouldn't have a problem because this works like a food mechanic. At all. And speaking about my corn video, I forgot to mention this, is that skulls also work as a Skaven food mechanic. You will start noticing a trend that it's working like a Skaven food mechanic or a high elf authority or Empire's authority. I forget what it's called. Let's just look. Prestige. Prestige. It probably works the same as Prestige or High Elves stuff or as Skaven food. Either way, it's a strong mechanic. Skaven food is really strong and good. There's nothing stopping you from just having a sack city. Like, the only one stopping you from having a sack city is usually you yourself. So, this function is not a problem. So, if you choose to do no sack sitting whatsoever, that's your own choice. Enjoy playing. Well, I will sack sit. So it sounds like you get debuffs. Here's the stick with devotion. If your devotion drops down by committing heretical actions or like declaring war on other Kislev factions, it can be spent on buildings or technologies closely aligned to faith, or certain worshiping stuff. So you need to be careful not have it too low, which makes me question: is too low negative, or is that at 0, or is it like the food mechanic where it has certain range? Because if it's like the food mechanic, that's not really a problem, and probably lowering it to 0 probably isn't going to be a big deal, which also means that you might have a cap, but they don't say you have a cap yet, so who knows. Either way, devotion is mostly a carrot, not a stick. This part is a stick. It's, let's say, a great sword, a stick size of a great sword being wielded by a goblin. It's not gonna hurt. Really not. Not being like wielded by Grimgore. Motherland. And Motherland is just pretty much 4 rituals that you use. We can see it better here with this. Here's the 4 rituals. They cost 140 devotion each, which doesn't sound too bad because if we look at this is turn 1, we get 0. And there's a couple of hundred spread out. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's like the food mechanic. But then I look over here, using devotion for supporter actions, 500. This tells me that we get a ton of devotion. Like, we can easily get a ton of devotion. So let's just real quick look at the gods and what they do. Dialect. Increase growth and replenishment rate for faction. Faction wide. That sounds really good. Growth is really good. Thing is to note also though, you will gain supporters 1 when gaining a character rank. That is a thing to note. That there is an extra thing because it's not said here. What are the other 3? We do not know. The supporters generated part, because there's obviously a supporters generated part added on that they do not tell us. Daza will increase your income from trade in all buildings. That sounds really good. I mean, with a duration of 10, guessing all these are duration of 10. Yeah, well, you can get both of those. So it sounds really good. Person. Causes attrition to all your enemies in your land and provides a unique army ability that puts a powerful hex on target area. What is this hex? Will determine whether or not this person is really good and worth your devotion. Attrition is also good, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see whether or not that hex. 4. Gives all armies additional melee attack and bestows a unique army ability to massively increase damage potential in a for time. Now, that is dependent. I think this is the weaker one of the 4, where you would want to do this and this. Silac and Person might be good, we will have to see. 4 seems pretty bad unless this damage potential like is massive. But we'll see. Other than that, that's just talking about what they do. Now we'll get to this, which is supporters and spiritual conflict for so basically, if you, depending on which legendary lord you choose, here, if you choose Tarznia Katanina or the Supreme Primarch, it will determine whether or not you're the Ice Court or the Supreme Patriarch. Awesome. And we can see the 2 right there. Basically, they do not declare open war against each other, but gaining followers, finding faction integrator, and it basically will give you more gathering followers. So basically, gathering followers will make it so that minor factions will be more likely to go over to your side, where they will federate. They will also. It basically is straight up a better empire function, where instead of imperial authority, where you gotta wait, hopefully roll real good on fealty, it is instead based on what you choose to do. So using devotion or using coin. So if you're floating a lot of money, use coin. Probably a lot to get supporters. Or do these invocations and you'll get supporters. Now I'm guessing getting to the end here, you just automatically confederate, and here gives you confederation. You don't, I'm not totally sure. But also, again, they are supporting ogres are the free LC faction as ogres. Because we know the 6 factions that are coming in Warhammer 3 when it releases. So that it This can be a stick only if you neglect it really hard, but the question is more so how fast does the enemy go compared to you? Because it might be they don't go that fast. Maybe they do, who knows? We'll see. But I got a feeling that if you neglect this, that's your own fault. It's a free function. You get devotion for free for stuff. I don't think this cost is as much considering we look at the tech tree and a couple of these techs are 100 devotion, meaning your devotion isn't that hard to get. Particularly. Ottomans in the great cities of Kislev. So, what Ottomans are basically governors. So again, looking at Empire, it's the electoral counts. But instead of having set region, it is for every two says where is it? It's every two provinces you will get, here it is. You get one Ottoman per two provinces you control. I thought that was further up. So that isn't too bad, and they mention here, like, however, for some reasons, that areas of the world would represent a half dozen settlements more. But they are mentioning, like, Kislev is somewhat unique, and they do mention Helpet, that it could be Helpet counts. So, of course, Helpet counts is a province by itself. But this just tells us, hey, provinces by themselves, easily, you get two Ottomans. So, okay, that's not bad. So, say you take Helpet and Skaven Blight, you get Ottoman. Not bad. That's pretty much seems like a carrot. In game, they are special. Ottomans are special lords recruited that can the province that can affect the income, growth control, and corruption of the area. They also have various special effects and can develop as more as the career continues. They do not earn XP like traditional lords, but will face various dilemmas, increase their skill, and then can be drafted as lords to lead armies. In times of dire, this has no initial costs as you already control the Ottoman, though they lack the battle-specific random traits of normal lords. They won't be providing their province benefits while they are in the field. If they die, they are gone. A new one will need to be recruited to run the province. So that sounds really good. I just want to check real quick. Warrior, heroes, patriarch. So it's not even in here. They don't even show it here. So we have no ideas what these guys are like, except for that they give us bonuses. They're special. So we'll see how they are. And yeah, I mean, this seems like a good thing. This doesn't seem bad at all. This just seems that we get a bonus. That's a carrot. That's just all carrot. There's no stick here. Stick here is if they die, but if you don't bring them out, they don't die. There's no problem. Okay, Ice Court. Ice Court is a carrot. A massive carrot. Why? Okay. The thing is that here's the carrot portion. You can summon Frostmane heroes or Ice Witch lords and train them. Train them in the specific trait that you want. Meaning, and it looks like you unlock those with that. Which means, hey, I want this one to have a certain ability. And that will make, unless you roll over and over again. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But basically, you get to choose the special thing, their special traits, which isn't bad. I think you also give them some levels. I don't know. The only stick that you have here is that it takes many more turns for them to get hired because you're molding them, and so you see here it takes 6 turns, and it also takes a couple more turns for them to recruit it, or the price is discounted. You pay money for this, and then you pay a little discount price again, and yeah, that doesn't sound that bad. If I'm able to throw knowledgeable on them constantly, that's not a bad thing unless they have something else that's good. So really, I'm not seeing a problem here. And also there might be traits that you only get from the Ice Court. So really, Ice Court isn't really a stick at all. It's a carrot. It's entirely a carrot. I say that there's no stick a part of this because you can choose to not use it. The only time I will say this actually becomes a stick is when it's like a certain trait or knowledgeable or something else that we get, maybe Magic Warrior. If that cannot be picked up by a lord unless they go to the Ice Court, then I will say that is a stick. But as it reads now, it's all carrot. That's all carrot. Now, let's go to the tech tree. Tech tree. It's just a tech tree making sense. Here's a special thing though. You unlocked certain boxes based on whether or not you own Kislev, Prague, and Ambrad, which is interesting. We can see here Kislev, there's that one, but we have the land, which isn't bad. This looks like it's making bears better and making like ice stuff better. So it's really not a problem I'm seeing here, not at all. And these churns aren't bad at all for research. You just need 2 to go to here, then 3 to go to here, and 5 of these go to here. It's not bad. It's not bad. Mean the cities is a stick here, but I think it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. And it might be just that the 3 cities are, yeah, if required to be. Yeah, so the straight up the research is unlocked once you have the city. So honestly, I'm not seeing a problem here at all. It's not a problem. Basically, you probably are choosing whether or not you be Supreme Patriarch or Kazina Kettering at your choice. Also, a thing I realized, it actually is more significant here, as it compared to the corn video, and I will express that again. The units, actually, it's not even in the units. The legendary lords, their factions will give special boosts to Kislev's units. So, really, depending on who you choose, this faction just gets better. Now, it depends what buffs they give those lords. It could be where they give her increase for the wizards and less magic cost, blah 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 blah, ice magic, ice magic, ice magic, where Supreme Patriarch Kostlin will get armor. And honestly, armor isn't that big of a deal. Armor is nice, yes, but it's not as important as melee defense. Or he could do charge bonus. We don't know. we legitimately don't know what his special functions are for his faction. But other than that, like the bonuses that they're gonna get from action and the legendary lords is gonna be make this better, make this all better. They probably reduce the cost. Katarine's probably gonna reduce the cost of the ice court. Who knows? Like we are sitting here. This is a lot of carrots. A lot of carrots. There was barely any sticks, and it's not like Horn where they were off balance by their units. But Kislev's units are actually pretty good. They got magic, they got monstrous units, they got range slash melee units. Like a lot of these units are just really good. And I'm not afraid of it. Like like this is just making me like this sounds pretty damn good.